Down to the champions. Down to Michigan. For the first time in 37 years, the Wolverines win the national title.
And we say, welcome to JDB's Morning Cap here on this talking podcast. As last night, it was a great college basketball game, men's national championship game last night. And Michigan is national champions for the first time in 47 years. Last time Michigan has won the title was 1989. So they were 1-6. They were 1-6 before they won their second title in their program history. So what a March Madness dominance for Michigan this year. It's been all hell Michigan dominance in this tournament. This is incredible. This is an incredible moment for
Bluetooth connected.
This is a good moment for Michigan Wolverines.
Bluetooth pairing.
And so many good moments.
I'll take a in.
And
Auxiliary in.
And we've just been realizing that Michigan Wolverines they've been one of the biggest stories in college basketball. If actually there are the biggest story in college basketball for majority different reasons. Number one, Dusty May was a Final Four head coach for Florida Atlantic with the Florida Atlantic University. About a couple years ago, 3 years ago, I should say. So now we've been talking about Michigan Wolverines. I mean, who has really stepped up for them this year? And right now, Michigan has been playing so well all season long. They lost only 3 games all season. They lost to Wisconsin. They lost to Duke. And then the third loss the third loss they suffered was Purdue. That was the Big Ten championship game. They had not lost a game since March 15th. That was a Big Ten tournament championship game. It was against Purdue. Since then, Michigan has dominated almost every game. I say almost every game, every tournament game. They scored at least 90 points in every game. Yesterday, it was one-dimensional. Defense was great last night. Offense was shaky at times. Offense was shaky for much of this game. When they make big shots, when it's necessary, they found a way to win. Michigan only shot 38% from the field. Michigan only 2 for 15 from downtown, which is 13%. But how they won the game last night. Free throws. 25 for 28. I think they made like 21 straight made free throws. They finished 89% from the line. Points in the paint in favor of the Michigan, 36 to 22. And Michigan was in control for most of the game. Most of the second half. The game was close for much of this game. I mean, right now, you can't get anything credit what credit is due. So who led the way in Michigan yesterday? Elliot Cadell. It's Elliot Cadell had 19 points, made 8 free throws. So that's what Michigan wants. They want to knock down free throws. That's how you win games. Free throws, clutch free throws is so important for Michigan, and get timely stops. If that's the case, then it's going to be a little bit different. Ooh. Oh. It's been a great season for Michigan. But let's talk about other than Michigan. Big Ten in sports is dominating so far this year. So far, it carried over from late last year. The Big Ten has been dominating so far. Late last year and early parts of this year. In college football, Indiana had an undefeated full season, ended up winning a national championship. Fernando Mendoza won a Heisman Trophy winner in 2025-26 season. Kurt Cignetti was a head coach. Indiana beating Miami in the college football national championship game about 3 months ago. So it was that. And then 2 days ago, UCLA, since joining the Big Ten, UCLA won the women's college basketball national championship 2 days ago against South Carolina. And then yesterday, Michigan beat UConn. So yes, Big Ten has been dominating so far this year. The Big Ten has been the biggest stories ever. I mean, talking about Indiana football, UCLA women's basketball, and now Michigan men's basketball. Who's next? Both men's and women's college World Series between softball and baseball. Who's the next in line? So this is what happens because you like Michigan's championship resurgence. Right now, Michigan has a chance to be favored to repeat national championships. But I'll talk about adding teams who can win a championship next year. That I think Michigan, their defense has been stellar all year long. Their offense has been pretty good. Coming into the NCAA tournament, Michigan was supposed to be a championship dark horse. Michigan is the most dark horse championship team in college basketball, and you're right on the money. Michigan won a championship. They knew they'd become the championship dark horse. They could be the bigger threat to Duke, or it could be the bigger threat to UConn, or else or otherwise, like Arizona. There's several good teams are in the top tier in the college basketball rankings from the men's. But Michigan, they're the elite dark horse championship team. They got a pretty good defense. They shoot the ball as well as anyone. They can get to the paint a lot. They can draw a lot of fouls. And they're physical on both ends of the floor. I'm impressed with Michigan's season has gone forward. I mean, something you have to be great with. UConn, it's been a good run for UConn, but they were a few points short from winning the national championship. In fact, that's their first loss for UConn in a national championship game in their program history. They have been 6-0 before they lost to Michigan, including they won back-to-back national titles with Dan Hurley. Yeah, that's the case. But it really matters right now because for Dan Hurley, it's going to be really interesting to see who does best and which one would it be if it really wasn't for this. So what UConn has to do next year to go back to the Final Four and go back to and try to this time winning the national championship. I mean, UConn, they have a lot of success in their programs over the years. UConn is the most successful teams in men's college basketball and women's college basketball. UConn is a great basketball school on both sides, men's and women's college basketball. But UConn, coming into the season, they don't know who coming into the season, they know who they were. The previous years, they won back-to-back titles, and then they suffered a second-round exit last year's tournament. And now they're back in the tournament. and UConn beat Duke in the Elite Eight when they were down a near 20-point comeback. They came back and they beat Duke in the Elite Eight about 2 weeks ago, something like about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, if I'm correct. Or more than a week ago. But that did not lead to a national championship win, unfortunately for UConn. UConn offense did not shoot the ball very well. No surprise. They shot 31% from the field, 27% from long range. They did have 20 offensive rebounds, however, but they just missed opportunities. They missed a bunch of opportunities in this game. They did. I mean, UConn, if they didn't miss a lot of opportunities, they would have won. Some of those were missed calls. That could have been a foul or something like that. I mean, the officials let them play. I mean, you just been talking about I'm not a referee. I'm not a referee. This is not the situation you don't want to take away from. And you already see yourself out in this one. So there's nothing wrong with it. There is nothing else you can talk about. Hey, Nick Matters worse. You don't really think about who do you take for. You can take a front of these guys, and there's not a lot of things you can take away from. That's that. So it would have been a serious contribution because of that. You would love to see you guys who can really step up in making sure they can put themselves in a better position right now. And the worst case scenario is to get over it at this point on. So it's going to be a lot better. So so this is not a problem because of that. So who do you think who's the top 6 favorites to win it all? You got Michigan number 1, UConn number 2, Duke number 3, Arizona number 4, number 5, Florida, number 6, Michigan State. So those are the top 6 favorites to win next year's national championship. So they're gonna have multiple guys recruiting in this one. So we'll see how that goes here. Whew. Congratulations to Michigan Wolverines, become the 2025-2026 national champions. First one since 1989. It took 47 years to accomplish. Congratulations to Michigan Wolverines for the men's national championship. All right, so coming up, what's coming up on JDB's Morning Cap? North Carolina has found their new head coach of men's basketball. We'll also talk Hornets and Celtics. We'll preview that. And we'll update Dexter Lawrence's future. We will update you right after this. All right, welcome back here. We got some news came out from yesterday to college basketball. The former NBA champion, former Denver Nuggets head coach, former Sacramento Kings as well, and now Mike Malone is becoming the new North Carolina Tar Heels head coach for the men's basketball. And now, after Hubert Davis Hubert Davis parting ways with North Carolina after 5 seasons with the Tar Heels. So now Malone is the new voice of North Carolina. So Bill Belichick was a new voice of college football for UNC this past offseason, and now Malone. You know what's ironic? Bill Belichick has won 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, if I'm correct. And Mike Malone has won the NBA title with the Nuggets. So there you go. There's your connection right there. There's your championship connection as far as head coach. So here's my question about the Tar Heels. Even Malone is a head coach in UNC. Do you think the expectations for North Carolina is going to be high coming into next year? I believe so, because you got some competitive teams in your conference of the ACC. You got Duke. You got North Carolina. You got several other teams like. You had several other ACC teams could ranked like Syracuse, maybe Clemson, Louisville could rank ahead of you guys. But you talk about the ACC team, Duke and UNC are expected to be headlined next year. Who's better? Who do you think who's going to come up top of the ACC? So for UNC, let's see what this schedule look like. It won't come out till around late summer. So that if you want that schedule, so let's say you have to face several teams like this one there, but let's say I predict that North Carolina will face Kentucky next year. They could face Kansas they could face UCLA. They can face several other teams. They can get to that if they want to have that level. If they want to have that quadrant teams, it's really critical. It's really critical because of that. And you want that situation a whole lot better because of it. And that's a game changer because you really want to make sure you just don't want to see them struggling. And that's right. So Mike Malone becomes a North Carolina head coach. Okay, so we're gonna move on. All right, so tonight we will preview the Charlotte Hornets taking on the Boston Celtics tonight. The game is in Boston. Tip-off begins at 8 o'clock Eastern. That game will be on NBC and Peacock. The final coast-to-coast game of the year. The second one would be Hornets. Second game will be the Rockets and the Suns in Phoenix at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific. That game is also on NBC and Peacock. So that's the final coast-to-coast game of the year. Hornets and Celtics. Let's talk about the Charlotte Hornets, man. The Charlotte Hornets are 43 and 36. The season series is tied between the Celtics and Hornets, one game apiece. So the Hornets could take the season series from the Celtics with a win here today. So for the Hornets right now, they're 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. Hornets could jump ahead of Philadelphia with a win here today. They could jump ahead multiple things. So let's say if Hornets beat the Celtics, they'll be 44 and 36. If the Raptors lose today, Raptors will be 43 and 36, and the Hornets will be the number 6 seed. Hornets will be the number 6 seed in the East. If the Hornets win today and the Raptors fall to the Heat today, then Hornets could be the number 6 seed. Look at what's the schedule for the Hornets look like? They're at Boston. They have a tough game. They're going to be home for Detroit on Friday. They have a tough game, even they don't have Cade Cunningham. I think they can beat Detroit. And then they got to play the Knicks. So 3 tough games coming up. So if they can win, it feels like they got to win all their games. Hornets did beat the Knicks earlier this season. So if they can beat these teams, if they can go 3-0, Hornets, who would have thought that Hornets could be the number 6 seed in the Eastern Conference? I mean, you want someone to step up, It's cool. Do you think Charlotte's going to be the number 6 seed? I hope so. If they can win if they win 3 games, if they can beat Boston, Detroit, and New York, then they could get the top 6. They need Toronto to lose out. They need Philadelphia to lose out to make sure that Charlotte takes the number 6 seed, and then Atlanta to win out the rest of it. So that, or let's say if Atlanta loses half of their games, they can hold on to number 6 seed, and Charlotte may sneak into the number 5. They can choose this way. So this is a critical week for the Hornets. I'm not sure they deserve to be the number 6 seed in the East. If they do, then they could be the best team. I think the Hornets could make the deep playoff run if that's the case. So you have anyone else to step up because of that. You made your own differences. You can make every difference that you make because of that. You let someone grind it out because of that. It's a whole different story. You'll have to take that. As for the Celtics, 53-25 record this year, second place in the Eastern Conference. So they should be safe for now, for at least a 2 or 3 seed. Celtics, they gotta win 3 of their next 4 games. If you win 3 out of 4 this week, then your 2 seed chances are actually pretty high. So about 75% chance to clinch the number 2 seed. Celtics have a 75% chance to clinch the number 2 seed. So even if they lose today, if Celtics win on Thursday, then they could clinch the number 2 seed. Knicks have 28 losses. So here's this. Let's catch this. Celtics can clinch number 2 seed with a win and the Knicks loss. The Knicks don't play till Thursday. So let's say if the Celtics win, they'll be 54-25. If that's the case. So if Celtics win one of those 2 games, so even they lose Tuesday, if they win on Thursday, Celtics can clinch the number 2 seed. So Celtics matching number to clinch number 2 seed is 2. Had the Knicks lost yesterday, the Knicks won yesterday. Had the Knicks lost last night, the magic number would have been 1. So if Celtics win today, magic number is 1. But Knicks do have a tiebreaker with the Boston based on head-to-head. New York is 2-1 against the Celtics. So the Celtics would have to jump ahead with New York if that's the case. Because the Knicks have won. The Knicks have been undefeated against the Raptors in a season series. So there's the expanded division record. The Knicks are 4-0 against the Raptors this season. They play one more game. So this is it. This is it. This is a golden opportunity. So I believe Celtics is going to win tonight. So against the Hornets. So it's not a surprise. Coming up, we're going to talk about Dexter Lawrence. We'll update on him after the break. And then we'll wrap things up what's coming up in tomorrow's talk show. By the way, today is April 7th, 2026. We're the 4th month of 2026 so far. So we will step away right after this. All right, welcome back here on JDB's Morning Cap. We'll talk about Dexter Lawrence trying to get back on track after a down season last year. So the New York Giants star Dexter Lawrence is requesting a trade. So let me ask this question right now. So I'm not talking about destinations just yet. So how concerned are how concerned are Dexter Lawrence about requesting a trade? To me, this has got to be. I'm not concerned about Dexter Lawrence. Is his future? I'm not really concerned. But the only way he needs to do better. I mean, last year it's been a tough season as far as his numbers, but he did have an interception last year. But the only thing they can think of, do you think Giants will have to draft so many guys on defense? They would love to do that. They would love to do that in that situation. They would love to do that because it felt like Dexter Lawrence has done so many things that he's supposed to, but it's not a whole lot where you want to expect it. But it would have been cool if it wasn't for this. But that could change everything else. But it's not a problem because it feels like it really differentiates themselves because of that. So we'll have to see what's gonna happen. All right. So now, which teams I will destinate Dexter Lawrence? I'm gonna pick up to 5 teams. For um, I'm gonna go with the Tennessee Titans. They could be the best destination. Titans could get Dexter Lawrence. They need another defensive production. And then you got 49ers. They because Niners are dealing injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Um, who else? They need something who's productive with. Uh, maybe the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals could use them. And then you got the Green Bay Packers. They can use him as well. And then the Kansas City Chiefs. They need some veteran presence for this one. So my pick right now is the Tennessee Titans. I think Dexter Lawrence will be the right fit in Tennessee. In Tennessee, they will be the right fit, and Tennessee might surprise you because of that. I think this defense will make a huge difference in 2026. Try to compete for the AFC South division. I think Titans is the best destination for Dexter Lawrence if he gets traded. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out for that. But it would have happened because of this. This is the situation you want to see it right now. So you can make it all happen. So I believe Dexter Lawrence will probably leave New York Giants for sure. Okay, what's coming up on tomorrow's JDB's morning cap? All right, so I will recap Hornets and Celtics, and I'll talk about the Houston Rockets. Should they be confident or should they be concerned? I'll talk about that tomorrow as well. And then I'll update some Major League Baseball. I haven't done that in the past couple of weeks or so. So let's see how they do in the first 9-10 games of the year. So this is the first quarter of Major League Baseball season. So this is what's gonna happen at this point on in this one there. So it should be I should looking forward to this one there. You might be okay with that. So it's a true difference right now. And also I want to talk about that tomorrow is the NFL draft situation, because the NFL draft is 2 weeks away. So a good catch, because I want to talk about NFL draft because it's coming up in 2 weeks in Pittsburgh. So we're gonna keep our fingers crossed. All right, this is JDB's More Cap. Catch you tomorrow, same time. Enjoy your day.